Welcome home, Raiders! This week, item levels were raised on Blackrock Foundry gear, but was it as expected? We'll take a look at class representation in Warlords, your questions, and so much more. This is CTR 175!
You're listening to Convert to Raid, the podcast for Raiders in the world of Warcraft.
Convert to Raid podcast power station in Minneapolis, Minnesota. Today is March 22nd, 2015, and it is now 11:17 a.m. Central Standard Time. Welcome to the show, everybody, and thanks for joining us from all around World of Warcraft land. My name is Pat Crane. I am the host of this little shindig, and as always, all the players are actually back this week. So let's get to it. From sleepy Seattle, from sultry Seattle, I don't know exactly what kind of Seattle it is today. It's Dairies!
I mean, I've missed a couple shows, I get that, but to really take me out of the show notes, that's
oh yeah, you're out.
Step too far.
You're out, buddy.
I'm not even in there anymore.
That is it. You are out. All right. So let's just move right along to the guy that is out of the show notes, to La La Land, to Hollyweird, California, to the Funky Monk. It's Coltrane.
Fortune cookies say.
Oh.
Right, forgot about this.
Duratan may be proud of his son, but Jaina's father is proud more.
Really? Really? Is that what we're doing?
Jaina Proudmore. Is that what we're doing? Yeah.
Nope.
No.
Come on, it's brilliant.
No.
Come on, you got to see the brilliance in that, right?
No. Arcane brilliance?
Infinite bongos. Infinite bongos.
No.
10 out of 10.
Nope.
Crickets! Yes, I see crickets in the chat room.
Svensson was paid to say that. He was paid to say that.
Well,
that was sent in by Gunther, Gunther, a balanced druid on Kul Tiras. So thank you very much.
Oh, thank you very much for participating, as always.
Yes.
But that was bad.
Proudmore. That's pretty great.
That was bad. That was bad. All right. Well, let's talk. Darius, you've been gone for a few weeks, and now you're out of the show notes.
Not long enough.
But I wanted to talk to you a little bit about PAX East, and you were also at South by Southwest,
yes.
Which is strange. They're starting to do gaming down there now, right?
Well, I think for the past at least last year, maybe the year before, they've had gaming. They do it's kind of like a mini PAX. They do a convention center, and it's got
cool.
all the gaming stuff. There's a cat.
That's very cool.
So yeah, and it's fun. And I mean, they do everything at South by Southwest, but the gaming stuff is where I was at.
Isn't that usually like a rock show or something?
Yeah.
There's like bands
It's
there.
like music, yeah.
Yeah, it's a couple weeks long, and almost one entire week is devoted to all the music and everything. But the weekends prior, there's a convention center set up for all the gaming stuff. There's convention center set up for regular tech. There's one set up for maker faire kind of stuff. So like people that make their own technology. Yeah, it's gotten pretty nerdy over the last couple.
Very cool.
Nerds are taking over, baby. I love it.
That's right. And then before that, you were at PAX East, and how was that? I heard that like Blizzard was going out of their way for getting people in to see Overwatch, right?
Yeah. I don't know if you can see my sweet Overwatch sunglasses that I've got.
Those are awesome.
Yeah. But no, the Overwatch booth was the booth to see at PAX East. The lines were really long, and shout out to the Blizzard guys. I've never seen this at a PAX before. I've never seen lines that long at a PAX before, but I've never seen it where the show floor closes at 6 and the Blizzard guys stuck around till 6:30, 7:30, just making sure that everyone in that line got to play the game.
That's cool.
That never happens. You always see everyone just leaves and shuts down the booth right at 6 o'clock. And, shout out to those guys for doing that. They were there early. They were there late. That was really cool. and everyone really was into the game. I'm really excited. I found out it's going to be free to play, and you're going to pay per bullet.
Right.
Yeah. So that's how they're going to do it. I got some insider information.
Coltrane's in trouble with his wife again. I can pretty much
right.
say that.
That's right. Woo. Pay per bullet. I love it.
It's good. It's going to work, I think. We'll see how it goes. You'll be able to buy them in batches of 10 or 20 bullets at a time. And classes that shoot many bullets, the bullets are just
it's like old school WoW. You can hold like 1,000 bullets in your bag, but that's about it. And then then you got to make more.
Well, I'm doing the melee character then. I'm doing that. That's the only free to play. Right.
That's the only free to play is all the melee. That's it.
Right.
It was good. PAX, I did PAX and South by Southwest back to back. So I was gone for a couple weeks and doing a lot of traveling and glad to be home now.
Right. Cool. Colt, how about you? What have you been up to the last couple weeks, really? Because, I mean, you didn't say anything last time around.
That's right.
You're like, I found some great coupons on food or whatever.
I got a great sale on bananas. It was amazing.
That's right.
Great sale on bananas. I got to tell you.
So what's been going on with your WoW time lately?
WoW's been great, man. I've been getting the old Windwalker going. We got a lot of our nerfs reverted, so now we can actually do some damage, which is fun. Just trying to fine-tune the play style and get the gear going right. And, of course, we have the eye level increase, which we'll talk about. So I'm really excited because tonight we step into the raid after the new item level increase. So we can see how it is.
Right.
You know what I mean? Boss is a little bit easier to get down and all that kind of stuff. So it should be good.
Maybe
not.
We'll talk a little bit about that later. But maybe we should actually just talk about the raid. What do you say?
Ooh.
And let's check in with the official team of the Convert to Raid podcast. That's right. It's the Asparagus Initiative. Yeah. Dairies, were you around?
So
you came in for last week for the big thing, right?
Yeah, I did raided this weekend.
What did we do? What did we do last week? I mean, we did the normal clear through heroic up to what was it? Furnace.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
And we got that down, which is good.
We got a good strat for Furnace now. Furnace, I'm confident now. Confident with the Furnace.
That's good because once
we got a little strat from Sanch that really helped out. Should we share that? Should we share?
Sure. We can do that. We can do that.
We're not releasing our strategies. Like
no, Coltrane. What was this strat?
All right. So the key to Furnace, is those elementalists, right? You got to get those bad boys down.
Oh yeah.
So what you do on the first elementalist is what do you do on the first one? Well, this is great. I should be doing strategy, guys.
I was drinking water. I almost spewed everywhere.
Right. Okay. So
that's perfect.
For the first elementalist, you don't do really anything, right? You don't pop your big cooldowns, right? You just kind of get them down. Try and get them down in one shot if you can. It's all right. And then the second elementalist, you pop your 3-minute cooldown, right? Your big bad boy. You get him down with your 3-minute cooldowns. On the third elementalist, you repot. You use your potion again, right? So you get so on the third one, you repot, and then on the fourth one, in theory, your 3-minute cooldown should be ready to go, I think, by then. And then you can get down the fourth one. So once I got this strat down, we shared it, and we all did it, boom, elementalists were dying. We were going into phase 3 very easily. Yeah. And getting down Blast Furnace. So
phase 2 is kind of the killer. I mean, that's the one that can really wear down your healers and wear out your deeps as well. So, I mean, getting that strat down right is what's going to move you into phase 3 so that you can try to avoid all those giant puddles.
Right. And we also had a couple of guys on fire callers too, just to kind of interrupt those guys. And then healers and whoever can purge need to make sure if that heal gets cast on that elementalist, take that thing off. You don't want that elementalist getting heals. You got to get that guy down.
Right.
So we would kind of clean up some of the ads, make sure they're kind of under control, and then start on the very first elementalist. But yeah, doing that kind of strat, nothing on the first, 3-minute cooldowns in the second pot on the third, 3-minute cooldowns again on the fourth. Boom, 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 boom.
And somebody else is saying lust on the fourth. Yeah, you could do that too.
So, you can lust on the fourth too.
Yeah, exactly. So that's very cool. And then what happened, Dairies, after Blast Furnace?
We believe it was this week. Yeah, we ended up killing Iron Maidens.
Yes.
I was just waiting for it. Yeah, we finally did that one, which was good.
Right.
That wasn't actually that many pulls, I didn't think.
No. All the days are kind of, all the raiding days are kind of rolling together at this point. But
Blurring
yeah,
together.
we got Iron Maidens down in not, it was maybe, I don't know, maybe 15 pulls, if that, maybe 20 at most.
Yeah.
I'm thinking though, man, as soon as we changed our strat, we got him down. I think our issue in the team is strategy. Whoever's coming up with this stuff, Dairies. No, I don't know who is, but well, the problem we were having on Iron Maidens is, and for those that have done the fight, of course, the entire fight is like easy peasy, right? You know, up until the last, and then it gets crazy.
Right.
And it's like I think it's like a 45-minute fight, I think, Iron Maidens.
It's an
Close to
hour.
an hour.
Yeah, it's about an hour.
Right. You can do about 8 bloodlusts, I think, in that time, maybe 10 or 12 during the duration of the fight.
But the first 45 minutes is RP pretty much. You know, you sit there and
exactly. Right. It's insane. But the big thing that helped us was we got the melee off the turrets. Ranged, focus those turrets. Us melee could keep just dancing and doing our deeps. And by the way, as a melee guy, come on, we got to admit, we love it when we're told, just burn boss. Ranged will deal with mechanics. Melee, just burn boss.
Yeah, it turns out when we told our melee to just stand in the corner, basically, things went a lot better.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah,
exactly.
really.
That's should go for pretty much every fight. I'm just telling you right now, a lot more higher success rate. So.
Right. They know how to pour out the deeps, but that's about it.
That's about it. Not much the mechanics.
No, not much else, but they know the deeps, how to do that.
Right.
So that's good.
But then after Iron Maidens, we faced against who?
We went, I like that look. That's a good look. We went up against Blackhand and we totally lost on that one.
We should stop calling what we do on Sundays raiding and just start calling it wiping.
Right. Blackhand did not go too well.
That's about all we're going to do.
It's time for the weekly wipe. Here we go.
Right.
That sounds a lot dirtier than what I meant it as, but
but true. Melee, a little bit of a problem on Blackhand, and especially for me. I was playing terribly. Like, you know, you have those nights where you're doing great and those nights when you're doing terrible. Well, I was the guy that was like, hey, there's a mine. Might as well step on that.
Right.
Oh, because I got to say, in that first phase, the mines are red and black. And the ground that you're fighting on is red and black.
Yeah.
So in phase 2, when the ground is kind of a nice gray, you know, some nice wood flooring down there, you can easily see the mines, no problem. But on that first phase, man, there's so much going on the ground and everything, and then there's those mines. So I was the guy. I was the one setting those things off.
You weren't the only one. I did too.
Yeah.
We were running around the circle, and Dairies said, "Hey, watch out for that one mine." And then right as soon as he said that, I was like in it. I was in the mine. Boom. Right. Yeah, it was good. It was enough to kill me too on that one. That was fun. Right. So in chat room, no, I'm not making excuses. Well, I am. I mean, it's the same color as the floor. I mean, come on. No, I was screwing up. Hey, sometimes you need all the excuses you can get. That's right. That's right. Until you have affinity on, and then you're good. And then you're like, oh no, I'm just bad. No. But yeah, so it was fun. So Blackhand, definite challenge. Now, question, Dairies, are we going to be tackling Blackhand again tonight? I've heard rumors about us starting, what are we doing here? What's the plan? Yeah, we're going to start fresh. We still have the majority of the raid team that doesn't have tier 4-piece. For those guys not watching on video, you must for Dairies' cat. If for nothing else, just for the cat. Yeah. The majority of the team still doesn't have 4-piece, and every little bit of help we can get on Black Furnace, Blast Hand, whatever he is. Blast Hand. The better, yeah. And it doesn't take us very long to get up there. You know, we've been clearing up to Blast Furnace in under an hour and a half, so. Yeah, and we also had all of our main tanks kind of got switched. So big shout out to Boros and Leonidas for really taking over, because our 2 main tanks both had to leave the team pretty much. So so those guys really stepped in and all that stuff. So it's been a learning process.
for all of us. But they've been doing an incredible job, Goros and the Leonidas.
Yeah,
So
we have been, and I think a lot of teams find this too. I mean, just over the months of raiding, that you have to change your team quite a bit sometimes.
Mhm.
And when you have to put in 2 new tanks, not just 1, but 2,
Right.
man, that is a challenge, because
That's right.
they're both learning the fights, and one came in before the other, but I mean, still, it's tough. It's not easy at all.
Yeah.
So, all right. Well, let's move it along. We do have some news before the raiding news that I want to talk about, and one of the first ones is our good friend Olivia Grace announced this week that she's going to be working for Blizzard.
Yeah.
Yay!
Yeah.
Yay.
And she's going to be joining the esports team. So congratulations to her for the gig. I mean, that's a great gig. She was at Wowhead for only a year over there, and before that, we were working together on Legendary and stuff like that back when that was around. And
That's right.
oh, fun stuff. Fun times.
So huge congrats.
Yeah, she's a good lady. I really do wish her the best as she moves forward with Blizzard. I mean, it's going to be terrific.
Right. And it's a great fit, too, because she's huge into PvP.
Oh,
that's her thing. On her shaman.
Shaman.
Yes, she loves the PvP on the shaman.
You're down with PvP. You're down with PvP. Who's down with PvP? I will be talking more about PvP later.
Yes.
So there, but big grats, Olivia, and we'll see you in November with your Blizzard shirt on, and we'll be just kind of traipsing around with.
That's right. How awesome is that going to be? That's going to be great.
She gets the bowling shirt now.
on. That's right. She gets the bowling shirt. That's awesome.
Oh, yeah. Also, this week we had, last week we talked about the Blizzard Stream Awards. We have the winners back this week, and big grats to everybody that won stuff, because they actually got money for it from Twitch, which is cool. Which is cool. And so we saw a lot of the same guys that have like big audiences and make a lot of money through Twitch, make more money through Twitch.
Yes. Yes.
And then everybody else can feel bad about themselves.
Oh, no. But it's great. But first place went to Towley. Second place, Sloot Bag, of course, from Midwinter. Third place was Fat Boss TV. Love those guys. Fourth place, Duck Sauce. And fifth place, Fragnance.
And that's from that's for WoW PvE.
Yes,
and we also
WoW
have,
PvE streamer.
Bajira from he got first place for WoW PvP streamer.
Yes.
And some other friends of ours got some awards, some nominations, and all that kind of stuff. So congratulations if you were one of those guys. Definitely pretty cool. And you can check all that stuff out on the World of Warcraft website.
Bashira's a pretty big dude. I don't know if you've seen this guy.
He's buff.
His like forearms as big as my head.
He's
he's a pretty big dude. Yes. Right. But he's super nice. So huge shout out to all the guys. Bajera was number 1, C Dukes number 2, Watch Me Blink 3, Swifty number 4, and Venruki took the 5th spot. So big congrats to those guys.
Very cool. All right, now we head into the raiding news.
Calling all raiders from around World of Warcraft land. This is raiding news.
All right, it's time to check out what's happening with raiding news around World of Warcraft. And first up, we have so this week was the Blackrock Foundry item level increase.
Woo!
And so everything went up by 5 eye levels, right? But it didn't really... I don't know. I think a lot of people were making assumptions. A lot of players were making assumptions based off of the announcement and, stuff like that. But we did see the increase this week. And I think for most people, it was like a 1 to 3% increase, right? Is that the way that worked out? What was going on, Dairies?
I mean, that's roughly it. You're looking at, even if you're in full Blackrock Foundry gear, you went up 5 eye levels, which really is, it's at most 3 or 4% increase in throughput. And I think people were expecting like a 50% buff in damage across the board. And when it was 3%, you're not even going to notice that. Right. People were a little bit angry. But I think it's a case of misplaced expectations.
Well, there was that part, and then there was the whole thing of when they released it, right? So they didn't put it out. They didn't put it out on Tuesday like a lot of vocal players kind of assumed, I guess. They were like,
Right.
oh, well, it's going to go in with a patch update on Tuesday. I raid Tuesday night, blah, blah, blah. And then it didn't come out on Tuesday, and they were like, what, Blizzard? What are you doing?
Right.
Why are you doing it
Now-
this way? I don't know.
The thing that's amazing to me, I was on Azeroth Roundtable and this last Friday with John and Ben, and John brought up a great point, and he said this. So for those that are upset about the Tuesday thing, because they raid Tuesday night,
Mhm.
and they're not going to get that buff because it went out on Wednesday. So Blizzard had two options. Either A, release it on Wednesday, or B, release it the following Tuesday, right? Next week.
Right.
Regardless, that Tuesday team would not get the buff no matter what.
Right.
Right?
Yeah.
Because it went out on Wednesday, so they didn't get it on Tuesday. If Blizzard waited till the following Tuesday, they're still not going to get it that week anyway.
Right.
So no matter what, they wouldn't have gotten the buff.
Well, I just wanted, so Bashak made the announcement on Saturday, I think. I wanted it Saturday. Should I be outraged then? I don't know.
You
This
should
is
be
just,
outraged.
yeah, it was just kind of like one of my moments this week where I'm like, God, I hate the internet. I just hate it so much sometimes. And it was like all these people raging about this stuff. It's like, hey, they made the announcement. That means collect Blackrock Foundry gear. And that's what that announcement means. It doesn't mean it's going to happen immediately. It doesn't mean it's going to happen on Tuesday. It means this week. So,
Right.
I don't know. People just assume too much, I think. Or don't
Well,
read.
I mean, we do assume when there's an announcement that it is going to happen on Tuesday. I got to admit, we do. As players and as raiders, when we hear something's coming, we assume on patch day, Tuesday, that's when it's going to show up. But I don't know. You know, there's no need for all the rage and the craziness, you know, and all that stuff. You know,
You're getting a buff, man. Relax.
right.
Relax. That's all there is to it.
Blizzard clearly hates us was one of the great quotes I saw. Like, oh yeah, right.
Yeah, they hate everybody. That's
Clearly,
why they do it. No,
That's right.
I'm actually I'm looking forward to tonight. See exactly what the effects are. I mean, it's basically if everybody took augment runes and then maybe took two.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah,
I'm
so-
thinking you're going to see about a 1 to 3% increase. That's my guess. Seeing about that tonight. I think.
Right. Mm-hmm. Well, let's take. Go
I
ahead.
don't think it's going to have much of an impact on us at all because it's not. I mean, so we already clear up to Black Hand,
Yeah.
and we'll do it a little bit faster, maybe 1 or 2% faster. That'll be great. But
1 to 3%
I-
faster.
Yeah,
I
1 to
really
3.
don't. I really don't think the 1 to 3% is going to get us a kill on Black Hand. I mean,
Absolutely.
maybe. We're in phase 2. You know,
Right. We
right.
still have all those funky
I just-
mechanics to work out.
that's pretty much a kill at that point.
Yeah, the
you know.
the 2% buff or 1 to 3%. Sorry,
Thank you.
won't get you past some of those mechanics as we talked about last.
I mean,
week,
you can
so.
just ignore mechanics at that point, right? Extra 3%.
Exactly. Just
Yes.
burn boss. That's right.
Yeah.
do what
when he's
Melee
at-
does best. Just burn boss.
When he's at 50, 60% health, that's the time to just burn the boss.
Everybody
Right.
lust. Let's go.
Yep.
He's at 60%. Ignore mechanics, burn boss. Perfect. Perfect time to do that.
It's good.
Oh,
This good
God.
raid team name.
This day is just going really crazy right now.
That's insane. It's insane.
I'll have some of the pre-show on the end of this segment for those guys that aren't listening live. It was quite the show. It's quite the pre-show. All right, let's take a look at class representation by eye level. Okay, and this is kind of cool. So MMO Champion, they do this all the time. They take a look at different things in World of Warcraft. The latest one was eye level. And this kind of, to me, shows who's playing their mains or what mains are being played a lot by you know, the top tier of raiders, kind of, at least. And so the way that they broke it down was the top level was 685, eye level 685, but it went all the way down to 630, and then it just showed all of the ones that are in Warlords right now. And it's kind of interesting to see these graphs and to see exactly what the trend is for these different classes. Like, I'm very excited about all the druids being played as mains right now with eye level 685 or better.
Yeah, they're number one.
It's like almost 15%, which is crazy.
That's all balanced druids,
Yeah.
and it's only for Black Hand.
Is it?
Yes, that's it.
No, I don't think so. But what are you guys seeing? Monks are looking better right? I mean, at the top levels, it's kind of one of those things. Rogues and monks have had a hard time. They've only gotten like 6% of the folks or whatever, but in the higher levels, it seems like monks are being played more, so that's good, right?
Yeah, I don't know if we're still if we're still below warlocks for this expansion, I think we might be in trouble. I think the old monks here might be in trouble. No, I mean monks. It's a funny thing. We've always been kind of at the bottom. It's one of the least played classes, guys. Right. I'm telling you, it's so much fun. The monk, the Windwalker specifically, is incredible. Brewmaster, great tank. Mistweaver,
Mistweavers are doing really good.
Yeah, so come on, get out there. I mean, I get it. You got to start from level 1 and level up, but it's a lot of fun. But you're right, monks have always been kind of lower on the meters, and rogues as well. It's kind of a funny thing. So
yeah, I'm actually leveling up my monk. It's level it's level 92 right now.
There you go.
I want to bring it in. I want to check out Mistweaving at level and see what's going on.
That's right. And as they said in the chat room, clearly Blizzard hates rogues and monks. Clearly.
Yes.
Right. Yes, that's right.
Well, they hate everybody. They hate everybody, not equally. So,
but I think number two on the list was Hunters. Hunters were way up there, along with Paladin as well.
Yeah.
And then Dairies' little priest action there, and Warriors, they're looking strong.
Well, Hunters were way up there, but as you can see at like the 675, 685 range,
they kind of drop off.
That's true.
Yeah. They're way dropping off.
Yeah.
I think it's you're looking at almost a timeline as well. If you're, people stop playing their Hunter or whatever at 665, and this is probably when the 665 was, roughly the average eye level, and then buffs went in, nerfs went in, things like that. I think if you look at the classes that are lower dropping off, like a Hunter or a Rogue or even a Death Knight, they've all got a spec that's just awful right now. That's worse than the other two. Hunters have one, and Death Knights definitely have one. Rogues have one. Mm-hmm. I don't know what's wrong with monks. Just nobody likes monks. I don't know why.
They're liking them more though. That's what I think of.
It's getting better. It's getting better.
Monks and Rogues got a little boost, I think, in the last balancing, right?
You know what they should do? It help monks. A little damage increase. I think they should,
How about a large one? How about like 10, 20%? What do you say?
Massive. Right. Just revert those nerfs completely.
Yeah.
And I think the class rep will go up. I think we'll get more monks. So,
you think so? Really?
Yeah. That's what they should do. That's what they should do.
Wow. Okay. All right.
No.
All right, let's move it along. There was actually something released this week from World of Warcraft. It was a short story. And why am I bringing up a short story? It's because it has something to do with a raid. It has to do with High Mall. And it's kind of weird. I don't know if this is a yay moment or not. We've stopped raiding High Mall. I mean, a lot of us, that are going through Blackrock right now. I mean, we've kind of stopped raiding High Mall, but now we know the lore. Seems a little late to me, doesn't it, guys? But I don't know.
We now know what we're fighting for.
Right.
Why?
Now we know what we fought for. And
what we fought for, right.
Or something.
But it is a great short story. And hey, look, you can't rush this creativity. You can't rush the author here,
Right.
But it's really well done, really well written. But yeah, no, I agree. It's High Mall, which is cool, which is neat. But, we've kind of, we're in black.
we've kind of, maybe moved on a little bit.
I mean, this is the internet. We've been in Blackrock Foundry for over a month now. That might as well be an eternity ago.
4 years. That's 4 years internet time.
That's like Siege Raid, That's like totally right.
Oh, man. You brought up some bad memories for me. You just said Siege. Oh.
I'm sorry.
14 years of my life in Siege. Oh.
Yes. Long time. I played Siege of Orgrimmar raid back in Classic WoW even. It was amazing. Yeah. It was around then. It's crazy.
Right. Oh, man. Now, and obviously you guys should check it out. I mean, I started to sink my teeth into it a little bit. I got through like a couple of pages and then I'm like going, okay, I got to get ready for the show this week.
Right.
But please go check it out. 5 pages. I know. I'm not a speed reader, man. I have to say everything. I have to say everything as I read it.
Yeah, it doesn't have any pictures, so that'd probably take you a while.
Gotta be annoying in bed, laying next to your wife, like saying everything out loud.
I just mumble everything. That's why,
honey, jeez.
That's why I get the Audible stuff. That's the reason for it.
Oh.
All right. We're going to talk about something else here that we don't normally talk about on the show, and that is PvP.
You down with PvP? Yeah, you know me. You down with PvP? Yeah, you know me. You down with PvP? Yeah, you know me. Who's down with PvP?
So it was kind of weird this week because one of our friends, Brian Halinka, who happens to do stuff with PvP.
Oh, yes.
I don't know if you know that.
Halinka!
He's been on the show before and you know, talking PvP, and I was really excited about it. Still have yet to do PvP, this expansion. I mean, I've done a little bit of Battlegrounds and stuff like that, but that's about it. You know, not a lot. And he tweeted out something this week, and it says, Masochist tweet of the night. Do you play WoW and Heroes of the Storm, but don't PvP in WoW? I'd love to hear why. And that started a little firestorm in Twitter, and some people got kind of the wrong idea of what this question was. And so he was just talking to those people that do not PvP in WoW. Why do you play Heroes of the Storm and not PvP in WoW? And Coltrane, I know that you've talked about this week on Azeroth Roundtable, but you play Heroes of the Storm. Do you PvP at all?
No. Not at all, actually.
So what is your answer to this? Do you have one?
I do. I mean, I got a few, and I'm actually curious. I want to hear what you guys think first, because then I want to talk about my thoughts, and then also some interesting thoughts that Ben and John brought up on Azeroth Roundtable, see what they think as well, and maybe together we'll have this nice, wonderful thing of feedback, and we can try and find that answer to this pressing question from Brian Halinka. So, at Crane, Crane.
Yeah.
You enjoy yourself some Heroes of the Storm, correct?
I do.
Right.
I think.
Have you done any WoW PvP at all?
Not really, no. I mean, I got like the PvP gear. I got like the initial gear, and I went kind of through some battlegrounds with some friends and whatnot, and you know, that was about it. I don't do arena. I'm not a big arena guy. I don't know why. I think part of it is that I don't want to learn every other class in WoW, every other spec. I don't want to know exactly what they do. I want there to be some mystery. No, I don't have time to learn all that stuff. But the other thing is that Heroes of the Storm has a very short progression track. You know, I mean, it's like you build your talents, and you know exactly, you know, you kind of know how you want to build your guy after a couple of times, and it's short. It's like, you know, max like a half hour, right? And then you're done. I don't have to level up a character. I don't have to get gear. I don't have to go through this big kind of, you know, the character slog of going through and getting stuff. It's just go. And I kind of like that. And also, you're playing these really, you know, cool heroes from games that you already know, and they have amazing abilities and stuff like that. So that's also maybe some of it as well. A little bit of the show going along with that. So, yeah, I think that pretty much covers at least some of the big items for me. Dairies, do you play PvP much?
I do. I am not down with PvP.
Well, I thought you were the PvP guy on the show.
I mean, I am, but that doesn't mean I have to PvP.
That's not saying much, you know, actually, with this.
Yeah,
right.
I PvP'd once. But that was a long time ago.
Okay, but you play Heroes, right?
I started my WoW career only PvPing. Back when my Warlock was my only toon, I only PvP'd. But that was a long time ago. But and I've played quite a bit of Heroes of the Storm. I don't play much anymore. I'm not a big MOBA guy, but I definitely see, like you're saying, it's easy to jump into Heroes of the Storm and do that kind of PvPing and not have to worry about, you know, do I have, and I know it's not in the game anymore, but do I have all resilience gems, and I don't have resilience gear, and I don't have PvP gear, and all this other kind of stuff, and, you know, all of those things, and trying to memorize 15 different spells from 15 different class or 11 different classes in the game, and trying to remember what they do, and making sure you've got your PvP, you know, your anti-CC trinket and all these other things. Like, you jump into Heroes and you've got your hero and everyone else has got a hero, but you're not as worried about like what they can do. You just know they can wreck you if you don't play smart. But it's a lot less frustration and a lot less to jump into. I guess there's a lot less to try to memorize when you're doing it.
Right.
There's a learning curve. There really is. So
I love it. I'm so happy. I'm so happy right now.
Why? What?
Because this has got to be it, because it's very similar feedback. And this is what's got me so jazzed. Okay, so this has got to be it. This has got to be some of the reasons here.
Right.
Okay, so some of the reasons.
Mm-hmm.
Number one, in Heroes of the Storm, there's not much gear dependency, right?
Right.
So that I know that when I'm fighting that other hero, I know him and we're on the same playing level, so to speak. He doesn't have this way better gear that I could unload all my cooldowns in him and I'll hit him for 10 damage.
Right.
Now I know that the PvP scene in WoW is a little bit better nowadays. It's not as gear dependent, but this could be some kind of old school thing that's ingrained in us as WoW PvPers, that it's all gear dependent. My first thought when I think about doing WoW PvP is, okay, what gear do I need to get first before I can actually PvP? Like, I need to get all this gear before I'm can compete at all, or otherwise I'm just going to get two-shot. I'm just going to get wrecked, right? Yeah. Now I know that they've done some things to make that easier. So in Heroes of the Storm, there's 0 gear dependency. So at the beginning of that match, when I see that other hero, I know him and I same playing level.
Right.
Number 2, complicated, simplified. Heroes of the Storm is incredibly simplified in that you really only have 4 abilities.
Right.
It's pretty much it. 4, maybe 5, and that's it. And your enemy hero, if he's the same hero, he only has 4 or 5 abilities, and that's it.
Mm-hmm.
So what happens is, if I know that I've only got 4 and he's only got 4, then when we go head to head, it's about skill. And I know that he's not going to, it's how he's going to use those 4 abilities the best he can, how I'm going to use them. So it's like a skill thing. You know what I mean? It's very simplified. Also, when it's simplified like that, you can focus on your hero, your other heroes, your team. You can focus on other things rather than just those 4 abilities. One thing that Dairies said was, in WoW PvP, you're like, okay, I've got like 30 abilities here. I got to make sure I got the right stuff on my hotbar. Do I have my anti-CC trinket? Do I have this going? Okay, my opponent, he's got another 20 or 30 abilities. Is he going to use this, that? It's way too much to try and memorize and to think. These top-end arena players, they take pride in that they know their opponent's moves and they know the counters, right?
Right.
But that's for like these hardcore dedicated arena guys that have spent hours and hours and weeks and months learning every single other class and learning each spec and each ability and each move. That's a lot to ask a regular PvP person to do. It's impossible.
Yeah.
But in Heroes of the Storm, because it's only 4 abilities, it's very easy.
Yeah.
When I go up against Sergeant Hammer in Heroes of the Storm, I know he's going to plant and he's going to do his little siege mode thing. And me as Illidan, I know I can counter that very well. I can flip over on him, do my jazz, and he's going to have to run. You know what I mean? It's all about the jazz, baby. So a couple points brought up too. So gear is pretty much, there's no gear advantage really. Yeah. When you level up in Heroes, there is a level advantage, but as far as gear goes, it's on equal playing fields. Number 2, it's very simplified. Heroes of the Storm, very simplified PvP situation as far as your abilities, your opponent's abilities, and all that stuff.
Right.
Kind of an interesting thing brought up too. Number 3 was maybe there could be in WoW, like there's also a co-op mode where you fight against bots.
Right.
Believe it or not, that's kind of a nice intro into PvP.
Right.
In a weird way,
I like it.
Yeah, and it's kind of a relaxing thing. You've had a hard day at work. You just want to come home, kill some stuff, and go to bed. Not have too much of a challenge, but still get that feeling of accomplishment. That's what's great about co-op mode against bots.
Right.
You know what I mean? When you step into WoW PvP, you're going to get 1 shot, 2 shot right away. You feel like, oh, I'm not helping the team. I'm embarrassed. All I'm doing is getting killed left and right. So...
Could that happen, though? I mean, do you think that there could be a co-op mode where you're fighting against bots in World of Warcraft PvP? I mean, for Battlegrounds, some of those Battlegrounds are kind of like the objectives are not right for bots. I mean, they're kind of complicated in a lot of ways.
They did have in the Colosseum that raid instance where it was like a PvP fight. Remember, you fought against that other team.
Yeah.
But they were all heroes, and they were launching their abilities and doing their thing and that kind of thing. I mean, so I wonder if the tech is there. I think that could be a good thing for World of Warcraft, that if maybe there was some kind of a bot mode in a way, it's like a proving grounds or something maybe, but for PvP. You know, it's like a nice way to kind of introduce it. You get to know your abilities, you get to know your opponent's abilities, you know. But that goes on to my next question too, is how do you fix it? You know, this is some of the feedback. What do you think, Pat, what could WoW do to kind of fix, let's say WoW's like, we're wiping the slate clean, we're starting fresh.
Yeah.
Cool.
Well, and I know that they have things like skirmishes where you can go in against your friends, and I think they start you at item level 590 or something like that. I mean, they have like these kind of friendly battlegrounds, which are kind of, you know, supposed to be fun and fairly even and stuff like that. I just think that there's so many abilities. I don't know if you can really find a good place for folks that are like just getting to know PvP. Other than Battlegrounds. I mean, Battlegrounds are kind of where everybody learns stuff, right? So, I mean, and we're not talking, this is unrated Battlegrounds. This is where people learn stuff. This is where I really learned how to play my Hunter. I played him, basically, I leveled 60 to 70 just through AV, you know? And so I was like, I love that particular Battleground, and I really had a lot of fun with it, even though I was playing Horde at the time and losing all the time because it's so skewed for Alliance. I mean, and they just have it so easy.
Right.
But that's what I did. I really liked that. But when it came down to wanting to do more, wanting to do a rated experience or wanting to do an arena team, it became kind of daunting. And like there was a lot of pressure. Where I don't feel that with rating necessarily. And I think that's why I do that more than PvP. I mean, it was just like a lot of pressure on myself that I put on myself to try to do everything better and to try to really work at learning these other classes. And I was just like, why am I doing this? I can just raid.
Right. No, it's true. It's true. And it's a lot to put together. Now,
it is.
Let me ask you this question.
Yeah.
We talked about gear a little bit early on.
Mm-hmm.
Imagine a world where all PvP gear was strictly for aesthetics, meaning it was all about the look.
Right.
And there was no advantage as far as more power and all that stuff. That when you step into that battleground, you know that opposing team has the exact same power as you, and it's just one-on-one. It's all about skill, right? And the gear is really just how they look. Like I remember playing PlanetSide 2. PlanetSide 2, great game, right?
Yeah. I still play it from time to time. It's great.
Yes, but the I don't know how it is nowadays, but the gear, there wasn't that much huge of an advantage. But I knew that like on a Terran player, the higher level they got, their armor would turn more red. Like they would have a more red look to them.
Mm-hmm.
So when I stepped into a battleground and I went up against him and I saw a whole squad of dudes who were like bright red, I knew, okay, these guys are hardcore.
Right.
Like these guys know these guys know their stuff. I still have the same chance against them.
Yeah.
But like looking at them, okay, I know that they're pretty hardcore. So these are just questions that we're asking the chat room. We're asking you listeners out there. And please email us at converttoraid@gmail.com. What if gear-wise was completely for looks? There was no gain in power or anything like that.
Yep.
Number two. What if when you stepped into PvP, your spell book, half the spell's gone. And the only thing that was there was like 6 abilities. And that was it. These are your chosen PvP abilities in your spell book. You've only got like 6 and that's it. And your opponent only has 6. And maybe throughout the fight, and John was saying this in Azeroth Roundtable, maybe you could kind of, like in Diablo 3, you can add little glyphs to ability to kind of change it or, make it, so there's some diversity, you know what I mean? But you only get like 6 abilities and your opponent only gets 6 abilities. So in this world of PvP, when you step into that battleground, you're both equal playing field as far as gear, and you only have 6 abilities mono a mono.
Right.
Is that something that you think would be interesting to you guys? Does that sound good?
Dairies, what does your cat think about that? For those guys not watching the video again, watch this just for the cat.
Really should. No, I think Colts on to the right idea. I think if they mobilized, no, that's a word already.
Right.
If they mobilized WoW PvP, I think it could be interesting. If they basically said, everybody starts, you zone in and all of your gear is gone. Everybody has the same gear. Every priest has the same gear on, or every healing priest has the same gear on. It's the same eye level, same spell power, same everything, so everyone's on an even playing field from gear wise. And then you've got abilities, even if they're just PvP only abilities. You've got 5 or 6 abilities. I think that's how you kind of go the nuclear option, and you just reset PvP and say this is the way it's going to be. And I think that's going to give you the most even playing field. Because right now, if you look at it, I mean, in all honesty, they are trying to balance 15, 20 different abilities across 11 different classes and 3 different specs with each. I mean, that's just, it's a fool's errand. That's never going to happen,
Right. Right. Well, and we see this in the chat room right now, and I was going to bring it up anyway. But if you do that, if you prune abilities so much that you only have 6, and if gear doesn't matter, is it WoW? I mean, that's really the thing. Is it WoW or is it something else? Because I think really then it's something else. It's like a third person MOBA essentially. It's Smite.
Right.
At that point. So, I mean, why not just play Smite?
But is the time we just got rid of WoW PvP? Nobody plays WoW PvP anyway. Let's be real. I mean,
well, we did see some numbers. So we saw some numbers this week. Again, this is just Armory stats, right? And it was percentage of players completed Ashran achievements. This is just Ashran achievements. And the first thing, which was Grand Theft First Degree, it was 30% of players got that. And then from there, it just goes downhill.
Like walking into Ashran.
Essentially, yeah. I mean, it's not much. And if you go through and do the initial questing, I think that's what you get. I don't even know. I don't know if I have it, to be honest. I know I've been in there like once or twice, but that's about it. And I never saw anybody from the opposing faction. So...
And listen, in chat room, guys, I know what I'm saying is crazy. I totally acknowledge that. And I know that if they do this, they're going to lose all the PvP players. I totally get that. Just Brian Halinka asked this question, why we play heroes, but we don't do WoW PvP.
Right.
And some of the answers are gear, complication, simplification, maybe bot mode, maybe this or that. I mean, maybe in WoW, maybe there's like a certain map or a certain mode that is more like this kind of simplified version. You know what I mean? I mean, who knows? These are just ideas. We're just talking here. We're just spitballing ideas.
This is in no way going to change your game the way that you have it right now.
Right, exactly.
We have very little influence, if none at all, with Blizzard Entertainment.
Yeah, so don't worry. We're just talking here. Of course, some ideas are good, some ideas are bad. That's part of a discussion. You know what I mean? We're all talking about it. So, and I know. So anyway, it's that to me is why I think some of us why we play Heroes of the Storm but don't do WoW PvP.
Right.
So it's kind of a fun, interesting thing to talk about. You know what I mean? And
you can kind of, I mean, everybody has those moments where they play WoW, and this is the great thing about WoW. Actually, everybody has those moments where they think about ways to make the game better for them, right? And so, like, you come up with these examples where you go, "Oh man, I really don't like whatever it is. It could be garrisons, it could be PvP, it could be raiding. I don't know, whatever." And you come up with all these great ideas, and then everybody looks at you funny. They just kind of, twist their head like a dog listening to a high sound, and they go, "What are you smoking, man?" Right. So this is just our time to light up.
That's right. That's right. That's what we're doing here.
No. Oh, man. All right. Well, I think that as far as that discussion goes, I mean, and you please write into us, converttorate@gmail.com. You can also, try to get Halinka on the Twitter @Halinka and talk to him about what the issues might be if you are playing Heroes of the Storm in beta or any other MOBA, LOL, it doesn't matter, and you're not doing WoW PvP. Why? It's kind of an interesting discussion, I think.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna come out and say it now, Halinka. PvP's dead. Just
ouch.
sorry, man,
ouch. Ouch.
Come on.
Olivia just got her gig. Come on. She's going to revive it with esports.
Listen, Helinka, if you need a new job, CTR is looking for another host. We'll help you out. But
oh my god! Oh, you're
The
insane.
show
He's
isn't
done.
convert to PvP. He won't be welcome here. No, I'm kidding.
That's right. That's right.
All
But
right.
I think also too. I think it's
Yeah.
at Warcraft devs. I think is
Yeah.
kind of where they're.
Yes, exactly. All right. Let's move it along to some leading the raid.
Leading the
Oh,
raid.
man. All right. When we can, we take a look into leadership issues for raid leaders everywhere. This week, we take a look at a listener question. And Coltrane, can you lead us through this?
Sure. This is from Credo. He says, "Hey CTR crew, in Warlords, my guild recruited and built our new raid team around the idea of making it to Mythic after we had gone through Heroics. But like so many other well-laid plans, things began to fall apart. Partly due to real-life issues, but mostly from the issues in the raid. Our roster of around 20 at the start of WOD is now just above 10, with several more on the verge of leaving for greener pastures. We do reasonably well in Heroics, but with normal carrying more of a sense of accomplishment than Flex did, it is not uncommon to wipe a few times in Heroic and then someone calls to go back to normal for practice or to gear up. As you have talked about on the show, the WOD raids are so much more about personal responsibility and less about gear. That I am not sure getting 1 or 2 eye levels from normal is going to help us as much as that time spent on the heroic bosses. And here are my questions. Number 1, what can we do as an increasingly obvious casual raid team to push ourselves and our raid team back into the progression mindset without losing more of our friends and guildies? Number 2, do you think that the naming scheme of raids and warlords has inadvertently killed off some of the lower progression teams? Instead of wiping many, not world first 500 on boss times in a row to refine execution, teams drop difficulty. I was doing so well.
Oh, man, it's a long one. It's
I was
it's a
doing
long.
so well. Teams drop. Okay, so let's start this last one off.
Sure.
Instead of wiping many, not world first 500 on a boss times in a row to refine execution, teams drop difficulty. Teams drop
Difficulty.
Teams drop difficulty and clear it.
All right.
Love to hear your thoughts. Thanks so much.
That was actually really good. I mean, come on. You stumbled on one word
I blew it.
Yeah.
a couple of times, sure, but you
No, it's
stumbled
all
on
or
it was one
nothing.
word, and it was right at the end. You had it.
No.
You had it.
Oh.
All right, but this is, I think, one of the common things that happened this expansion. Everybody heard about Mythic, and everybody was jumping on Mythic, and they were like, oh yeah, we want to do Mythic. We want to get together a Mythic team. And then Mythic came along, and it was hard. Normals were hard. Heroics were hard. So, I mean, it's kind of difficult right now. But what do you guys think about all of this stuff?
Are you talking about the difficulty?
The difficulty.
The
Yeah.
difficulty?
Yeah.
Right.
That
Oh,
one.
the difficulty.
Yeah.
Right. Well, when it comes to the difficulty, I think that, no, what you're saying is absolutely right. People want to be the best, right? They automatically look at the top tier and they say Mythic and they go, oh, we want to be Mythic. We're going to
Right.
get together and we're going to do the top. But then they are wiping constantly on Heroic,
Right.
the step below.
Yeah.
And that causes frustration because, hey, we're supposed to be Mythic. We're looking at the top of the mountain.
It might be.
And-
It might be happening with our raid team right now.
What? Right. No, it's true. In fact, even top tier raid teams, mythic teams, some of these teams are falling apart because they're only like 3 bosses in on mythic, 4, maybe 5. That's it. And the frustration level is huge. I mean, WoW players have wanted harder raids, harder content. That's all we talk about and we complain about. It's too easy. We want harder.
Right.
And then you give them harder, and then now it's nothing but frustration, and it's too hard, and all these teams are breaking apart.
Right. Right.
You know?
Dairies, we've seen this happen, and from a raid leading standpoint, we've actually seen people from our team suggest that we drop down difficulty. That
Yes.
so that we can practice mechanics and clear it and get gear and all that kind of stuff. And what has been the way that you've dealt with it as a raid leader?
So Yeah, so we do see that from time to time, and with a team like ours, and likely with what the writers got, you're always going to get a mix of people. You're going to get people that when you say you're mythic, they're the people that they want to do mythic and they want to do more. And if you're just in normals and not really clearing heroics, they're gonna leave and they're gonna try to find another team and whatnot. And then you're gonna have people that think, well, this is kind of hard. Maybe we should drop down a difficulty and see how it goes. And that's just the way it is. With 20 people, you're just gonna get that average amount. And you just, as a raid leader, you just need to say, no, this is like, we are doing heroics. This is it. Like, we're not going back to normals. We don't need an extra one piece of gear off of 6 bosses or whatever. If you want to do normals, we'll do it at a different night. Like for us, for a little while, we were doing normal clears on Fridays. For people that maybe needed an extra piece of tier or an extra piece of gear or whatever. But we stick with heroics, and we do heroics, and eventually you end up clearing them. The other thing to note with a team of this size, and we're seeing this again on the Asparagus Initiative right now, you're going to lose people. Like, people are going to leave. And it happens for us right now. It just happened to all happen at once. We lost 3 or 4 people kind of all within the same week or 2 weeks. But this has been out since November now, and we're 4 or 5 months into it. You're going to lose 5 or 6 or 7 people. That's just what happens. Yep. When you have a guild and you have a raid team of 20 people. Of 10 people, you might lose 1 or 2. But at 20, 25, you're going to lose more. And there's nothing you can do about it. So you have to continually recruit. You're going to lose, friends and raiders and things like that. That's just the way it is, whether it's real life or they want a different team. Yep. There's nothing you can do about it. So don't worry about it. Don't stress over the fact that you've lost a bunch of people. You're now just above 10. Just go and actively recruit. There are people out there that want to raid. You just have to find them. But I wouldn't continually drop down from heroic to normal though. If you're 10 wipes in on heroic and you're like, man, this is so hard, and you're only 10 wipes in, you really haven't given it a fair shake. If you're already killing heroics and you're clearing heroics up to that point and you're getting the gear from it and everything, then I have no doubt that you can continue to clear heroics. It's progression. It's not supposed to be automatic. And these fights are a lot more difficult than they were in the past. Even on normal and heroic mode, where they are flexed, they are tuned a lot better. These are really good fights. Yeah. So don't get discouraged that you're maybe wiping 20, 30, 40 times on a boss. I think, even on heroic, on fights like Blast Furnace, we wiped into the hundreds on heroic. It's going to happen.
Yeah. I had some doubts about that one.
I did too. We spent an entire night just wiping, and then the next night just wiping the whole night. Like, ooh.
Yeah. It was not pretty. But I think part of it though is that there's an expectation, right? When people heard about, the way that raids were changing for warlords, I think that everybody's expectations were that Mythic was possible. And for every player, not so much. I mean, we're still finding that Mythic is really, really hard, guys. And because it's, as we talked about last week with Affinity, they're mostly mechanics and not necessarily get more gear, kill boss, in a couple of weeks. Those mechanics are still there, and those are going to be important. And not everybody has the same skill. We are talking about player skill level at this point. And I don't think that everybody has the same amount of time to devote to the game, or they don't want to play the game that particular way, or whatever. And so you're going to find that these raids provide new challenges for your team, and it's not going to be easy.
I've said this on the show, and it's kind of popping up in the chat right now, and I'll say it again. Raiding is about wiping. That is 90% of what you will do in raiding is wipe. And if that's not what you're looking to do, then maybe that's not the skill level for you, or the raid level for you. Maybe you should as a team or as a player drop down one. If you're not looking to wipe, then that's not the spot for you, especially in heroics and mythic. You are going to wipe, and you are going to wipe a lot. That's just the way the game is. And there's no way around that. Someone in chat, asked, how is wiping 200 times supposed to be fun? That's the point. Is you're wiping 200 times to kill a boss, and that's just how it is. You're wiping 20 times in phase 1 and 40 times in phase 2, or whatever it ends up being. You're making progression. It's that progression that's fun. It's the thought of, on your 150th kill, wiping at 1%.
Right.
That's
the heartbreaker. That's what we call the heartbreaker right there. And then you can't get back to there for another 10 pulls because Dave is standing in the fire again. Dave.
Yeah.
Ugh.
That's why I said at the beginning, we need to change it. It's no longer raiding. They should just not call it raiding anymore. It's wiping with the hope of raiding.
Right.
The raiding is the act of, it's the act of fighting. It's not the act of winning.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, and also, you got to make the group fun. I mean, we make the group, the group that we have is great. And we make tons of bad jokes every single raid night. And mostly about druids and what else? Yes. Basically just about druids.
Train boss.
Oh yeah, trains. We had an entire month of train jokes, which is great.
Right. Well, this leads me to another question though.
Yeah.
And this is another controversial question that everyone's gonna get all fired up and angry about. Right?
All right. Okay.
Here we go. Put on your seatbelt.
All right, here we go.
All right. Let's talk about what we've been seeing. Right? What have we been seeing in the mythic level raids, right? And raid teams. What we've been seeing is a lot of these hardcore raid teams. I'm talking like, top 20, top 50, top 100 hardcore dudes are falling apart.
Yeah.
They're disbanding.
Right.
They're leaving. They're only like 4 out of 10 mythic, 5 out of 10, maybe 6, or I don't know how many. But anyway, they're disbanding. They're falling apart. This has been happening in the raid scene, right?
Yeah.
At this eye level increase, which should help, but only 1 to 3%.
Right.
So my question is, are these raids too hard?
Ooh.
Are they too hard? It's something we've all been screaming about and all wanting, but look what's actually happening.
Right.
No, I don't think so at all. I think we're now seeing the teams that are pretending to be better than they are being washed out.
Wait, hold on a sec, because you're talking about some really awesome teams with some really awesome players. And a lot of people are saying, hey, I get it. Sometimes life gets in the way and you can't commit to your game as much as you want to, and maybe that's why things are breaking apart. We see this in our own server with our top guild. Those guys have kind of fallen apart lately, and I think are they done? Do we know, or alone? I know
no, they've lost a few people, but they're going to continue.
Okay, so they just went through a transition. Okay, I thought that they were like taking a break. And it's difficult. It's difficult stuff, and these raids are not easy. And I think that these mythic teams are finding that it's maybe the expectation. Maybe they need to change their expectations.
I think what we're seeing is a lot of teams that they had some very, very strong players. Let's say, for example, a 20-man mythic raid team. They had 15 very strong players and 5 maybe above average or average players. And in the past, the very strong players could carry those extra 5 that weren't very good.
Right.
But now that's no longer the case. Those 5 players are more than enough to wipe a raid constantly.
So you're just saying that everybody else is a poser. That's not.
No. I'm just saying that it's now the weak links in these mythic teams are being exposed.
Right. No,
and they're holding teams back from what used to be a world 3rd kill is now a world 50th kill.
Yep.
And we're seeing teams that have always put an emphasis on personal responsibility and personal play and have always had really, really strong players are now doing very well. They're doing much better than they were in the past.
I just want to get you in trouble. That's all I'm trying to do.
In trouble.
You're always in trouble.
I love this chat room. I've never seen it scroll so fast. This thing is scrolling 100 miles an hour.
Can't keep up with you guys. Man,
are exactly as hard as they need to be. But on the inverse, we are seeing way more normal raid teams go into heroics, which in the past would have been, normal, what basically would have been heroic to mythic or the equivalent in the past.
Right.
We're now seeing a lot of raid teams go normal heroic, or a lot more just normal raid teams, and that's what it's ultimately about, is getting everybody in there to see that and getting everybody rating at the correct level.
Yeah.
And that's where it should be.
Wow, that question really sparked a
This is fantastic. It did a whole storm. It's great.
Yeah, exactly. Chat room's going nuts. I have to put it on slow mode. I have to.
With me though, man.
What was that?
I've never seen so many people agree with me.
It's great. I love it. I love it.
It won't happen much, dude. Don't get used to it.
I love Kerfuffle just said mythic chat room.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
true.
Yeah,
It
it's
is.
definitely.
But that's good. This is good, guys. This is discussion. This is good. It's good to get fired up. What about this? What about that? It's good to ask these questions. It's good. It's good stuff.
As long as you guys can keep having fun with the content, that's the thing that really matters. And I think that these raids do provide a good challenge for people. It's just that you can't have the expectation of going in there and downing a boss after a couple of weeks of getting your loot to the right eye level. You can't just expect that to happen. You have to work for it. And so I think that these raids are actually pretty cool in that regard. So
I think we said this when we were still in the Slog of Orgrimmar. And we were talking about the change between heroic and mythic, and then going into warlords. We were talking about this will be a come to Jesus moment for a lot of teams.
Yeah.
When they need to be honest with themselves. And we are now seeing that where teams didn't have that conversation, and now they have to be honest with themselves, and this is what's come of it.
Right. You're right. I'll agree with you. I'll agree with you on the show. So I think that's right. People's expectations were maybe just a little elevated going into this expansion, and now you're getting the smackdown.
That's right.
All right. Well, let's move away from that hot topic for a little bit. Let's let it cool. Maybe come back to this next week. Write in, guys. Write in. I'd love to hear what you guys have to say about this stuff, or call in, or whatever, and I'll give you the details right after this.
We've got mail.
We do. And if you have a question or if you have a comment about anything that we're talking about, please email us, converttoraid@gmail.com, or you can call our raid line, 612-787-RAID. And actually, for the last couple of topics, I'd really love for you guys to call in, because us reading it doesn't do much justice.
Yeah. And just remember, all your hate towards me is at Coltrane, CTR.
Coltrane. Yeah.
And then if you agree, it's at Dairy or at Board Mine. Sorry.
Yeah.
I have two different accounts. It's just that's all it is.
Just trying to keep it even, right?
That's right.
All right. So let's go to this first question. Darius, can you actually read this first question for us, please?
This is from Thanatos on Hyjal. He says, "Hello, fellows. I have an off-the-wall question this morning. So the other day, after 6 months of the expansion came out, I found out that there was a portal to and from Gorgrond and the Timeless Isle. Now, when I find out where and how it works, I was totally fascinated. So my question is, little things like this, do you find them fascinating as well? Or do you think it is a huge waste of time and time, and Blizz should focus solely on content?"
Do you guys know about this portal?
What?
Do you guys know about this portal?
No.
Okay, so here's the deal, and I saw a video in the last couple of weeks about this. So there's a portal from Gorgrond, from like the northern island in Gorgrond to just off the coast of Timeless Isle, and what it is there's a little island in Gorgrond, and you can get out there using Aviana's feather.
Yeah, it's like the only way you can get to it is using that feather, and it's kind of out there in the middle of nowhere. It's definitely a secret spot.
Right. And there's a campfire with a couple of seats around there, right? And at this point, there is no portal whatsoever. You have to sit down in one of those seats, and then the campfire becomes clickable, and then you go to the Timeless Isle, just to a little cave in the Timeless Isle just over by where the frogs are. Right?
What?
Yeah.
That's amazing. Are you serious?
So you can go over to where the frogs are, or you can go swim off the shore of where the frogs are and go to the other campfire, sit down, click on the campfire, and go to Gorgrond.
Yeah.
So it works both ways.
That's awesome.
It's really cool. This is what I loved, and I'm really sad that he stopped doing it. Was that that podcast? I can't think of the name, where he went around and found secrets. The secret stuff in Azeroth and like
yeah. No,
what was the name of that?
War Walkers of Azeroth?
No, not that one. Chat room, you'll be able to help us out here.
I have it right here.
Oh,
it was Warcraft Less Traveled.
That's it.
Yes.
Yeah. That was
Great
an amazing. He hasn't done it in a while, and I love that because he would point out things like this, and I think this stuff is awesome. This is so cool.
Yeah.
I don't think this is a waste of time at all. This was likely some poor intern, that they were going to be like, all right, either you go make coffee or you make something cool in the game. And he made this, and it's off. This stuff is really cool.
Something very small. Coltrane, obviously your mind is blown.
Yes, it is completely blown. And like Dairies say, I doubt like Tom Chilton is like, all right, I'm going to focus all my energy on this. You know what I mean? So yeah, I wouldn't stress out about like, this is what you're doing and no content. Like there are different teams, but that's awesome, man. Like little things like this, little Easter eggs, little hidden stuff. Right. That's what makes the world feel alive, man. Yeah, that's what makes you want to explore and find little caves and little nooks and sit down in front of a campfire, and now it's clickable. Like, that's amazing. Yeah. And then you go to the timeless isle.
It's not clickable until you sit down. That's the key.
I love that. I love that.
That's awesome.
That gives the world flavor and color and pop, and it makes it real. And I love that. It's not just polygons and just, there's a mountain. Like, actually go to that mountain, and there's a cave, and you explore, and like, that's awesome. That's awesome.
I also like watching those videos where they find bugs in WoW. Like there was the one where the DK was on a ship somewhere in Azeroth, and then as he like death grips something, he flew off the thing and went flying through the world. And I mean, like, even the bugs are kind of cool. Wow. So it's when something actually works like this, something tiny, but I find that very fascinating as well. Yeah. And I'm like, that's cool. And also like little things in the lore about like all the, I don't know, about all the people that have been involved with the game in some way, all those little tiny stories about like the looking for Kyle's dog, or was it Kyle the dog or whatever it was in the Torrent starting zone. There's a story behind that. There's a story behind all this different stuff, and I find that to be pretty fascinating as well. Yeah. Almost, sometimes even more fascinating than the actual lore, which is pretty cool.
No, it makes things alive. It makes it feel real. It's great. And Knight ABSM says, currently heading to said island.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, do it. It's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. And there's also a video on it too, so you can go check it out on YouTube or whatever. Just look for Gorgron Portal or something, I'm guessing.
That's awesome. Thanatos, thank you very much for sending in that question. I had no idea about that. That's awesome.
Right on.
Check that out.
Right on. And I think with that, we're actually going to get the heck out of here, fellas. What do you say?
All right.
And so I'll play this music, Dairies' favorite music, and we'll do a little shout outs for those that gave us 5 stars. Shoots out for 5 stars on iTunes.
You having some difficulty?
I think so. Dairies, what do we have this week?
We've got XBC, PM Bear, Sly Rebirth, and Fossil WoW.
All right, cool. Well, thanks guys for the shout outs for the 5 stars on iTunes, and thanks for all the stuff you can do on the YouTubes for our YouTube stuff. Any shout outs this week?
Once again, big shout out to Olivia D. Grace.
Yeah.
Get the job at Blizz. Yeah. It was so neat when you said that she's going to have the shirt on at BlizzCon. That's awesome. It suddenly hit me. Like, right.
You have to, right?
The bowling shirt.
Right.
At Blizzard. That's great.
Right.
So big congrats to her. That's wonderful news.
Yeah, it's very cool. Dairies, got anything?
No, I don't. Okay. I don't have anything right now.
So, here's one quick thing. So for those guys that have been with us to the Minnesota meetup before, we're thinking about maybe doing that a little bit earlier than we did last year. So there's going to be more information coming. Check out my Twitter, Pat Crane, for more announcements as we roll through. We're thinking May. Go back to May. We did it Cinco de Mayo the first time, so maybe we'll do it right around then. I don't know. All right. And now I'm going to just bail on the music.
What? You just gonna bail out?
Yep, just gonna bail out, and I'm gonna play
Bail out of
this one. There we go.
All right.
All right, we cannot do this show without you guys. Thank you so much for taking the time to talk to us and to rate us on iTunes and to do comments on YouTubes and so on and so forth. And if you guys, you guys can join in on the conversation we're having at any time by doing the following. You can email us at converttораid@gmail.com. You can call us and leave comments and questions on our raid line, 612-787-RAID. That's 612-787-7243. And make sure to do that for the comments for this week's show. That's going to be really cool. I want to hear the rage in your voice.
Yes. Yeah.
You can follow us on Twitter at ConvertToRaid, or what else, Coltrane?
You can follow Pat Crane at Pat Crane. You can follow Coltrane at _Coltrane. And you can follow Dairies at Bored Mind.
And make sure to join the Bazooba Guabo Nation by heading over to ConvertToRaid.com, where we have show downloads, forums, videos, audios, all sorts of links for raiders, and a lot more. All the guild stuff is over there too. ConvertToRaid.com. Our live feed and video shows on GameBreaker TV. Make sure to watch, like, comment, share, subscribe, YouTube things over there. We're also live streaming on AlphaGeekRadio.com for those that want to listen through their mobile device or Roku while we're doing the live show. You can do that. That's amazing. The audio show is also available on Stitcher, iTunes, everywhere else. Right? And,
Yes.
and now I can't finish. The Convert to Raid podcast is produced and distributed by Signals Media. Make sure to check out all of our friends at signalsmedia.com on the All-Star Network over there. And that is going to be it for the show. That's everything that I have to say. I said it very quickly. Hopefully you understood it. All right, there we go. Thanks so much for tuning in. We'll see you on our next show next week at our regular time, Sundays, 11 a.m. Central. And, ish. And for all the guys that Convert to Raid, bye-bye, everybody. Bye-bye. All right, fellas. We should probably get the heck out of here.
Let's try to find that that place on my stream.
I know, right?
I don't know.
Where's
I don't know
that
exactly.
island?
Oh, yeah. So it's just that, find it on your map, dude. Find it on your map so people can see it.
Way up there, and
It's all about the food.
It's right above your head right now. It's just that little island, like on the north side of Gorgrond, on the northern tip of it. There's a little tiny island, and it looks just like a brown blob in the water. Are you going over there right now? I kind of want to see.
All right.
Show us the island.
All right.
Get up.
So it is.
Jurassic Park.
Turn to the right. Turn to the right.
Don't fall in the water.
Oh, he fell in the water.
Well, oh, that's my pet. Never mind. Thought I was being followed here.
Oh, there it is. I think I see it.
What?
I think it's not those.
I thought it was way up. Like
it's right
your head's
above,
in the
there
way
you
up
go.
here.
Yeah.
Way up.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got a little ways to go.
Oh, well, now we're going to stick through this broadcast until we can see it from...
I know. It's one of these islands. Which one is it, though,
I think
right?
it's the...
Show us the island.
Yeah, it might be. It's one of those.
Someone gave me the coordinates. There we go. 7324.
They just made that up.
7324.
Yeah. Okay, it's this top one right here.
Yeah, there we go.
All right, we're going.
All right,
we're going, baby.
We're going, and you're going to see it
Get
right
close
here
to
on
the feather.
Convert to Raid after show.
World first.
That's right.
First after show teleportation.
Teleportation.
Mm-hmm. It's pretty
Kate,
cool.
we have to go back.
Oh boy.
That's right.
there's a 3-headed Hydra.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, 5 million health.
The island.
I've never killed that guy.
There be dragons about.
Oh boy.
You be going to the island. There be
Arrgh.
teleports there to time
Arrgh.
the soil. Holy cow.
Oh, man, this. Yeah,
You're going forever, dude.
I'm almost there. It's one of those ones right in front of me.
Okay.
You can see him.
That looks like the island thing in Goonies. You know where they hold up
Goonies?
the thing? Those look like the islands from Goonies.
Oh.
Chester Copperpot. Doesn't it look like it?
You're talking about over in Oregon, they have all those wonderful little, I guess they're islands. Yeah.
Or Oregon.
Mountain ranges.
I don't know what it is.
Almost there.
One-eyed Willie over there.
One-eyed Willie.
Chester Copperpot? No. Don't take that. That's Willie's.
Right.
Here we go.
Right.
Don't want to take that treasure.
That's the one that you... Oh, and now he's flying down. He's flying down. It's the one that has a little...
There, it's right below me. I can
lob.
see it.
Yeah,
Just
yeah.
gotta get there.
You can see it. We can't.
Oh, I'm getting
Move my
seasick here.
There it is. There it is. It's going to take an hour and a half to...
Oh my
Yeah,
gosh.
gotta fall down here.
There you go. That's right. Sloth love chunk. Baby Ruth. Oh, come on.
I love that show. I actually went out to Oregon and went
There we go.
to
There we go.
the
Oh, there's someone already here.
All right.
It's Kleptic. Hi, Kleptic.
Kleptic.
Hey, Kleptic.
Yes. Awesome
All right,
warrior.
so-
Kleptic.
Now, seated, nothing. You can't do anything. You can't
Look at
click
that
on the flyer.
transmog.
I mean, you can... Ooh,
Look at that.
boy.
Look at that transmog you've got going on there.
I don't think we can show that. This is the
I
family
know,
friendly
that's
show.
inappropriate.
This is,
All right, so yeah.
So you have to
The
sit
fire
down.
doesn't do anything.
Right. Sit down, though.
Let me have a seat. Oh, now it's
Now-
clickable.
And now it's clickable.
Ooh.
Oh, there you go.
The island.
There you go. Here we go.
Oh, oh.
Oh, there it is.
Go!
Oh.
Go!
And crash.
The world server's crashed.
Right. Because
There we go.
everybody's
Now
trying
I'm-
this
Now
now.
I'm on the timeless isle.
Yes.
That's cool.
Oh,
Oh, someone
Cool.
Kleptic followed me.
Oh, no.
Kleptic.
We can't
Look
show
at
that. Oh.
Oh my gosh.
So now where are you on the timeless isle? So now you have to go
Look at that.
You gotta go out the waters.
out the water.
Out the waters here.
And did you know that cave was there?
No.
I've seen this cave before. Yeah.
The cave has
But
always
didn't
been
do
there.
anything before.
Right.
Let me get on my sea turtle here.
Sea turtle.
Go faster.
Nice.
Yeah.
I
You guys don't
found
have
the
a sea turtle?
treasure. What secrets does Gorgrond hide? This is amazing.
So then you can go back through. Now you're in the timeless isle right by the turtles. Or right by the frogs.
Look at
Yeah.
that.
Right?
That's
That's
the
awesome.
frogs are. There's the ship from Goonies.
Yeah, there it is.
Oh,
That's cool. That's cool, man.
well done, Blizz. Well done.
Job well done.
Yes.
Yeah. It's two places you'd never want to go: the edge of Gorgrond and Timeless Isle.